Good morning again, and thank you for being here. We are uh, we will record the call so that you'll be able to have a copy of this to take a look at. There's an unusual amount of attachments today to the follow-up email that comes behind this. All of them are worth viewing, and a couple of links as well. Um, Again, though, as we start every week with our mission statement, again, we're committed to the professional growth and financial success of our specialists and brokers, and by supporting them in their efforts to help their clients protect themselves against the devastating, life-changing cost of needing care across whatever spectrum of products that might be. But our job is basically to help you succeed in building your practice, and whatever you need us to do that's not illegal or immoral, you can count on us to be there and help out in every which way we can. We measure our success by yours, so we're interested in helping you in any way you think you need a hand up to grow your practice. Okay, we have a pretty full agenda today. We have our special guest, Michael Cotorna. Michael, am I saying that right?
Yep, you got it.
Great. Wellabe. From Wellabe. Wellabe used to be Medico. Now it's a Wellabe company. Wellabe is the holding company for what was Medico. So Michael's going to talk to us about what is probably the most exciting short-term home health care, standalone home care products on the market, simply because they're new to the market and they put some things into their policies that nobody else has. And Michael will be sharing all that with us. And then we'll have our usually monthly visit from Claude Bow in Claude's Corner, and he'll talk about some things in the life insurance side and some of the other things on the long-term care and extended care solution side, all designed to help you offer a better portfolio of options to your clients. And then we'll have some carrier updates, some news you can use, some observations from the field, and a little thing I wrote at the end called words. Okay. This is what I know. Again, I need to ask you guys to send me your production before these calls so I can celebrate you. But it's really, really good to see Scott Fishkin back on the board with a $139,000 single pay One America policy. So congrats, Scott. 139,000 single pay. That's a nice way to help your clients and a nice commission for you. And Alita with a non-reflex policy of $1,051. Alita seems to be on the board every week, so we're glad that she always finds a way. Even when she has company at her house, she always finds a way to submit some business. So congrats. Okay. Michael, beside being this happy, good-looking guy,
It's a very photoshopped image right there.
Is it? Well, it does the trick. I don't know. How long you been with Wellabe?
Just over 2 years now.
About 2 years. Oh, there you are. I can see you now. Okay. Well, see, there's a bit difference between the dressed up Michael and but that's okay.
It's my Friday sweater day, so
that's good. You're entitled. Mike was kind enough to volunteer to come on here and do this webinar with us. I can't think of another company right now that has more things going on in our space, in the extended care space, than what Wellabe's doing and what they're doing to help all of you. So, Michael, I'm going to turn this over to you, and you can bring everybody up to date. Go ahead.
Okay. Great. Thank you. Yeah, I appreciate it. I'm going to share my slides real quick with y'all.
Let me give you control here.
Oh, no, I got it.
You got it? Okay.
I think I should have it. You should see my Why Wellabe slide there. But yeah, thank you for having me, Mark, and the team. I do appreciate being on. We're going to just go. Oh, go ahead.
Slide. Wait a second. Let me make sure I see the slide. Oh, yep, I see it. Okay. Does everybody see the slide?
You just call that number and tell them you hadn't got your bill.
Okay. Very good. Somebody's got to mute their line. Hold on a second. All right. Well, I see the slide. Is everybody else seeing the slide, or do I need to share it separately?
I see the slide.
Then that's all that matters. There you go. It's all yours, Mike.
Great. Thank you. So yeah, again, but Again, Mark and everyone, thank you for having me. We're going to just do a quick 90,000 foot overview quickly over our products. I know in a few weeks we'll be doing a much deeper dive into our products, especially the short-term care product we just expanded. So, went too fast there. Yeah, as Mark indicated, we are Wellabe, but that's just our holding company rebrand from American Enterprise Group, which sounded very, very anonymous and hard to know what that is. So they rebranded to Wellabe, a little more consumer friendly, but we're still Medico. So we're Medico, a Wellabe company. Same company since 1929, A-rated, AM Best. And I would say the most important thing on here is the third to last point is accessible, expedient underwriters, because there's nothing worse than coming back from a denial with your clients and prospects to say, you get them all excited about a short-term care product or a hospital indemnity, and you go through the application process and it's declined. So it's hard to come back from that, or it's not hard to come back, but it's never fun to come back for that, we'll say. So when in doubt, always give us a call. You can have access right to our underwriting department. But yeah, the product that we're very excited about is my mouse is going nuts here, is our short-term care product. It is expanded to 24 states now, from 10 when we first launched it at the end of last year. One thing I will say about our short-term care product, it's really classified at lots of DOIs as a limited long-term care policy. So we didn't want to call it a limited long-term care policy because limited and insurance doesn't sound good. It's maybe like, okay, is this cut rate insurance? What's going on here? So we classify it as short-term care insurance, but it really is the best alternative to a long-term care policy, which are very hard to find nowadays. As I said, we're in 24 states and we are continuing to grow. We're filed in more states. We're just waiting for them to look at the policy and make sure it's up to their standards in that state. But our goal is to be in over 30 states by the end of the year. So fingers crossed on that. We do a very generous underwriting, including 3 coverage levels, which are plus, regular, and then we actually have a rider for a spouse that may not be able to qualify for traditional short-term care. We have a rider that can really help them out and not leave one of the spouses out in the cold with no coverage whatsoever. And of course, we have very competitive rates with it as well. And on the backside of it, so it's designed to keep your clients in home, but there is a facility rider available. So if they do end up going from home to a nursing home, they can have that extra rider on there to help offset the cost of a nursing home and really defer, if not avoid, Medicaid altogether. So that's our short-term care product. Again, just a 90,000 foot overview, lots of ways to quote it and offer it to your clients, and we'll talk more about that in a few weeks. But then, of course, we have our Medicare supplement, which is our core product. I will say, with this product, we have instant issue. So the average policy has a number in about 2 minutes. So you submit the application online. In about 2 minutes, you have a policy number for your clients, sometimes even quicker. And over 60% of our business is actually issued within a few minutes. The another about 20, 30% are going into underwriting. Maybe there's something in the MIB report that says, we're not sure what's going on here. So we'll have an underwriter actually put eyes on it. And typically within 2 days, we have an answer. And less than 10% are declined. And I always say those are agents just rolling the dice, see what happens. But we have very stable rates. Our average rate increase is less than 8%. And the industry standard is about 8%, give or take. We do have very affordable premiums and an easy household discount. To live with someone over 50 and they just have to live with them. They don't have to love them. They will qualify for a household discount. Fun fact about our rates, though, is whether they're preferred or standard is based on a height weight chart. We have a very, very generous height weight chart. Over 90% of all issued business through Wellabe or Medico is issued at preferred. Smokers automatically get standard, but I always joke because we're based in Iowa and they smother gravy on everything, we have to have a pretty liberal high weight chart for our own backyard. So dental, we have dental insurance. Obviously, you know what dental is, but we have first aid coverage with dental. So no waiting for any, even major services, bridges, dentures, implants. They get first aid coverage with no network. We have a rollover rider that over 60% of all our policies have this rollover rider, that any unused benefit at the end of the year rolls over to next year up to $3,000. So it's one of those, if you don't use it, you don't lose it. And it's non-coordinating, meaning our ages are from 18 to 85 with this policy. So they can have ACA, they can have group, they can have veterans insurance, they can have a Medicare Advantage, Medicare supplement, they could have just straight Medicare or no insurance whatsoever. We'll work with all the policies out there. So it's a great addition to your MedSup clients or your Medicare Advantage clients that maybe don't have enough dental insurance with the baked-in policy or the baked-in benefit of their Medicare Advantage plan. One of the core products we have, though, that's really we've exploded in sales, and I'll show you why here in a second, because we were at 140% target at the end of last year. So 40% above our goal in sales, thanks to all the agents out there. But it's because we changed our guaranteed issue ages to go from age 60 to age 79, one of the biggest ones in the industry. 19 years of guaranteed issue, no health questions. In fact, if you are on our My Enrollers system, the application portal, and the system sees that you're enrolling someone in a hospital indemnity between 60 and 79, it pulls the health questions off the application. So you don't have to worry about answering no to anything. It just automatically omits that part of the application. But we tend to be 10% less than the competition, and all the riders that we have, again, which we'll go into deeper detail in a few weeks, are included in the guaranteed issues. So there's no, well, this rider's included, this one isn't, this one's kind of included. It's all guaranteed issue 60 to 79. Now we do go down to age 18 and up to age 85. But between that sweet spot of 19 years, it's guaranteed issue. We have first diagnosed cancer, very easy policy, $10,000 to $25,000, 3-question app with great rates. This is a very stable and very key component for your Medicare Advantage clients who owe 20% for chemotherapy. At least every Medicare Advantage plan I've laid eyes on has that 20%. So this is a great policy to offset those costs and give them a pool of money or bucket of money that they could use to help treat their cancer costs. So all that's done through a My Enroller system. Just wanted to show you that website real quick, apply.myenroller.com. If you currently have a Wellabe contract, you have access to all the products I just talked about. There's no special contracting for any of the products we just mentioned. There's also a quick quote. So if you don't have medical right now, that's okay. You can go to that second URL, the apply.myenroller.com/quick quote, and you could run quotes without logging in. So you don't have to have Wellabe or Medico to go on that site and just run quotes and see how we stand against competition, including the short-term care. So if you can find more information about all this at wellabe.com/sign-in. Just log in if you're already appointed and take a look at all the brochures, coverage maps, policies. But again, we're going to dive deeper into this in the next few weeks, which I'm excited for that secondary or the upcoming meeting. If you have questions in the meantime, you can always contact agent support at the number on the right, 800-547-2401, option 3. And again, there's those websites to go to. There's the agent portal. So anything I could do in between now and then, please let me know. Otherwise, again, we're going to do a deep dive into what the products actually look like, what states they're in, the benefits, and even get some sales suggestions in there as well.
Okay, well, Mike, first off, you did an excellent job of taking that 5,000-foot shot at better than any of the other carriers have done so far. I shouldn't say that out loud, but that was great that you did it that way.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Second, I had a comment about you guys in the chat that said, "I love Medico." It's customer app, I guess Cindy meant, and I know instead of nice to hear from her, but she was complimenting your customer app and I guess your service. So that's good that you already have that kind of favorable impression on people.
Well, thank you.
We're going to open it up for questions. I'm still stuck on the fact that your company's name was United. What? The principal?
It was. So our holding company was American Enterprise Group, AEG,
and you thought Wellabe was easy to understand than that?
That was way above my pay grade. I joke, all I got was new polos. So that was a big change for me.
Okay, I find that interesting that somewhere made the decision that American Enterprise was less understanding than calling the company Wellabe. All right.
Since we're recording, I'll keep my mouth shut.
I'm not, we're not holding you responsible. I just find that interesting. Who's got
Yeah.
questions for Mike?
And I'll stop sharing my screen real quick just so I can, now I can see everybody again because it hit it.
Can you show the count or the states that you're in? I know we've sent it out a couple times, but do you have something handy you can bring it up and show?
Yeah, let me do a screen share again. I'll just share my 1 second. Let's see here. Share Windows. Here we go. So here's my, so right now you're seeing my internet browser, but there's our short-term care states.
See, they're in Alabama, Mississippi, and
Mhm.
Louisiana.
That's our new expansion. And then the other products, I would
And
say
Maine.
household indemnity. And again, logged me out. Once you go to agent portal, it's all there. So there's our household indemnity. This is the plan with the most coverage that we have.
How about New England, it seems like?
Yeah, don't do a whole lot in New England. For whatever reason, I don't know. Just some states are easier to work with than others. So then MedSup, there's our MedSup states. Those are pretty much our 3 core products. And now, again, we are expanding. So peek in the box. I don't know if this applies to anybody, but by the end of the year, we will have MedSup in California. So we're still dotting the I's and crossing T's on that. But I know that they're going to announce California here in a few months. So we are constantly expanding.
What Mike's not sharing is that one of the distinctive things about Wellabe's short-term home healthcare product, do you have a standalone home care too, Mike?
No, we are working on a regular home healthcare plan, but they're still in the designing phases of that right now.
But on the short-term home healthcare, there's a rider for home care. It's facility and home care, right?
Yeah, so it's basically based, and here's a benefit grid real quick for you. It's based for home healthcare first and facility second. So we say we try to keep our clients in their home as long as possible, but if it does turn out to do go to the facility, that we have the option there, and it goes up to $500 for facility, from 100 to 500, depending on the level of care they qualify for.
Okay, so you just heard what the distinguishing thing is. Wellabe will let you get up to $500 a day for facility care. Nobody else in the short-term space is giving you that option. 400 seems to be the max, and in some cases it's 300. So you can get $500 a day for facility care with the Wellabe policy, and you start putting what, $500 a day into that's 15 grand a month. It's certainly incorporates probably all the inflation issues you would probably run into. So did you have an inflation option?
Yeah, there is the inflation for home health care and facility care. It's a 5% simple right there.
Okay, well, 5% simple.
I have a question.
Yes.
Go ahead, Alita.
Yeah, what are the triggers for starting to use the policy?
It's 2 ADLs or cognitive impairment.
All the triggers
Okay.
are going to be the same, guys. They never change for policies. It's sort of in the insurance legislation that way. So,
Well,
Yeah,
not for Omniflex.
maybe not two activities of daily living and cognitive
It is
impairment.
not that for Omniflex. For Omniflex, it's your doctor's certification that you have become functionally incapacitated. It's right in the policy.
See, I never come to these calls and not learn something new, Mike. Alita is always on top of this stuff.
Yeah,
Well,
and I know,
that's even easier to qualify for. So go ahead.
Yeah. So, and same thing here. You do have to have a care coordination plan with us. I mean, but ours is basically 2 ADLs and cognitive impairment, but we'll actually reimburse you or the client $500 to have that care plan set up. So they have to be under a care plan. I always say, think of our short-term care as it's literally limited long-term care. So that's what our policy is designed to do. I'm somewhat familiar with Omniflex. That's the, who does Omniflex? Manhattan Life, is that right?
Manhattan Life, right?
Right.
Yeah, I have their brochure. I don't know their product that well. I need to call Cole over there and ask him a little more questions on that. But yeah, so I mean, that's probably our biggest competitor in the field right now, other than I think Aetna has another short-term care plan out there. So
You just brought up a good thing, Mike. When you were sharing the information, you have a 2-minute approval on your Medicare products.
Mhm.
They have it on their short-term care product. They literally come up and it bounces the application off the Medical Information Bureau, and they tell you within 2 minutes if you're approved. Any chance
Right.
of that coming to the short-term home healthcare product?
Yeah, it's in there. And the other side of it is, so let's say you go to, because there's 11 health questions for our short-term care. It's basically a 2-year look back. So if they answer the questions all no, and they're going for the Essential Care Plus, which is the highest level of coverage, and something comes up, it's like, well, you answer that incorrectly, or your medical records don't reflect what you're saying. We'll actually send you a counter offer and say, hey, they qualify for the Essential Care, not the Plus. So here's what that looks like. If you want to pick an elimination period, pick your benefit period, pick your daily benefit. And our underwriting team will work with you to say, hey, we don't want to say no to them, but they don't qualify for that level, but we'll give them an alternate as well. So we don't just flat out deny if they can still qualify for something less than plus.
Okay,
But
so
yeah,
there's
it's still
couple
the
more.
2-minute. What's that?
There's a couple more questions for you.
Please.
You're very popular. Have you filed the for approval in Florida yet? Virginia asks.
I don't know where. Florida's a goofy state for a lot of reasons.
You can say that. Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know Florida. I think they're on the list. I don't know if we filed there yet or if they said yes or no. So I do know, again, it's our goal is 30 plus states, but they haven't said which states those are yet, to me at least.
The answer for Florida is probably eventually the ones that it probably won't get into anytime soon, or New York or California or Massachusetts.
Right, because this is a true indemnity style plan, and I know in California you can't do indemnity benefits for anyone over 65. So this one,
Sharon,
this one in California.
That answers your question, Sharon. Yes, it pays cash.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so if they only spend $100 and they have a daily benefit of $200, they're going to get a $200 check.
Can I ask a quick question? Do you allow this to be renewed?
It has a one-time restoration of benefits on the Care Plus, but I'm going to tell you just so you know, they have to come off service to reset it, and it's 180 days. So the kicker on that is if they come on for cognitive impairment, i.e. Alzheimer's, dementia, something like that, you technically will probably never come off service. So if they come on for cognitive impairment, they probably will never be able to reset the plan. But according to our underwriters, they're like, the chances of someone on dementia or Alzheimer's resetting a policy like this are in the single percentiles, if that. So those are people that are pretty much starting a journey to a nursing home, especially if they are probably to a memory care unit. So they weren't so concerned about that just because of the low frequency of reset for those types of folks. But if they're injured or they're ill and they get better, they can come, they can graduate off the plan. After 180 days, they can reset it.
Sell a separate policy because this pays on top of what any other policy pays. Mm-hmm. So you can cover the client with just 2 different products if you want, or get a separate standalone home care. That kind of thing is a way to stretch out their care.
Exactly. Right, just to give you a quick example that I've talked to agents that will put this in front of a long-term care policy and they'll take the long-term care policy and make it like a 180-day or 360-day elimination and do this in front of it. So to help to keep the long-term care costs down.
That's a good thought. All right. One last question here is there any chance New Jersey's in your future?
New Jersey is a goofy state for us because we've tried to file some other products there. I'm going to stop sharing real quick so I can see bases. We tried to file other things there with not very successfully. I know we're working on New Jersey, I think on hostile indemnity right now, but we're still having trouble getting it passed. And I don't know why. That's way above my pay grade. I would say working with 50 DOIs is like working with 50 different versions of Sybil. So, they're all over the place. But yeah, I wouldn't hold my breath on that one, to be honest.
Are you seeing your picture again, Michael?
Yep, I'm back to the main screen for Teams now.
So when I brought up, I wanted to see if I'm sharing my slide with you so they can see your phone number.
Oh.
So you're not
seeing it now. No.
Well, let me go find it here.
I heard you say earlier, it's always a challenge to go from Teams to Zoom to go to webinar, back to Teams. Yeah, it's like a constant relearning process.
Yes, it is. And then for some reason, it doesn't seem to be the same from week to week. So I don't get why that is. All right. So now, do you see you?
Yep.
We do.
There I am. So yeah,
Okay.
that's my mobile. Feel free to call me. The only thing I'll say is if you call me, I'm on the road 70% of the time. So if I don't answer, please don't think I'm trying to ignore you. Just leave me a message. I'll always try and call you back within 24 business hours, or you could always drop me an email.
Well, thank you for being here. I think we've set up your training for the Thursday, the 28th or 27th of this month.
Correct.
And then that'll be a dedicated webinar for everyone here, just part of our channel, and it'll be nothing but Wellabe. And he'll take you through the different products and show you all the tools you need and everything else. And again, Wellabe has a bunch of promotions going on right now because they introduced those new states. They will pay for a mailing to 1,000 people in your client base or your Medicare base or in your database. They'll pay for the mailing just to let people know that you now have this product to offer. They have some contests going on. They have a gazillion different things. So you want to make sure you attend that train and you're up to speed on all of this. And maybe he'll be able to answer why they thought Wellabe was a better name than
I'll do
something else.
some homework.
That's okay. It sounds like an Australian bird. It's all I can think of when I hear the name.
We always joked they named us after a short, fat kangaroo, so that's all right.
Oh, there you go. All right.
Hey, Mark.
Yes,
Mark?
ma'am. Yes, Sharon.
Mike. Hi,
Yes.
Mike.
Yes.
Give your plug for your Tuesday talk. We love it.
Oh, thank you. Yeah,
Sharon,
So-
I have that built in here. It's going to
good.
come up here in a few slides. Yes, Mike does his own podcast now, and I've sent you before, but I'm going to show it to you again today. You want to hear more of Mike, you can tune in to his podcast on Tuesdays. Thank you, Sharon.
Thank you. I appreciate Sharon.
See that? Everybody wants to be your PR rep, Mike.
I tell you, it costs a lot of money to get that promotion. I tell you what.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Thank you. We look forward to hearing your webinar.
Thank you. I'll just show myself out then. So yeah, thank you so much, and look forward to diving into Wellabe with you all later.
Yeah. Do I need to take it back? You're not going to cancel
No,
me.
I think you should. I think you should have it back. It gives me the option to leave over here. So you should
if
be
you're
in
seeing
full
my
control.
screen, I do have it back. And did you send me the invite so I can attach it to the recording for the training?
If I didn't, I'll get it over to you today.
Good. Thank you. And then I'll put it on with the recording. Thanks.
Great. Thank you.
Thanks,
Take
Mike.
care, everyone. Bye-bye.
Take care. Bye-bye. All right. This is what I was just talking about. Again, they're willing to pay for a mailing to a regular mailing, and for you to send to your database, develop a relationship with Mike, and you probably can get some latitudes there. So I highly encourage you to follow up, simply because the $500 a day is the most you're going to find within the business, and that can be a real difference maker. Okay. Let's move right over to our next guest, the one and only, and the only one, Mr. Claude Thao. Claude, can we hear you?
Are you seeing my screen?
I'm seeing
me?
you on my screen. I don't know let me see if I can see you.
I see your screen.
You see his screen? I don't know how these guys are taking control like that. That's pretty good. All right, Claude, if they see your screen, then I see your screen. Go ahead. Generating business with Quote and Apply,
thank you
right?
for having me here.
Yeah, well, always.
All
Go
right.
ahead.
And earlier today, Mark was teasing me. I think this is the second straight session I've had with you that I've worn this shirt. Last time I didn't get a chance to
I just
speak
feel like I'm in the islands or
complicated,
something
but
every time I see you
I
in that
think-
shirt.
Well, I think the subliminal messaging here is if you write some business through us, some ancillary business through us, that's marginal income for you that you can spend to take your vacation to the islands.
Oh,
Right?
there you go. Okay. I knew
So-
there was a method to your madness. Go ahead.
Or at least a madness, that's for sure. Anyway, so today I want to talk a little bit about generating business with the Quote and Apply system because, I've onboarded many of you. A number of people here are brand new faces who I haven't onboarded, brand new faces for me. But many of you haven't been writing business. You tell me this is the greatest system you've ever seen, and yet we're not seeing a lot of business come in from many of you. So I want to talk today about generating business. About generating business with Quote and Apply. And I urge those of you who have some ideas or have done some things, interrupt at any time, because I won't lose my train of thought, and I love to have your ideas. So first of all, we give you a lot of electronic links that you can use. So here's one for me. You know, this is your fundamental website is going to have the same wording that I have on mine here, except instead of saying Claude Dow, it's going to say your name. And you can then overlay those letters, and you can change it to whatever you want. You can change it to get a free quote, you know, new way to protect against long-term care needs, whatever link you want to have to encourage people. We also give you buttons that you can use, and you have some degree of what goes on a button. The wording has to fit, but something here like get a free quote. And then you can have a tagline underneath it, such as this, you know, get a free quote. And then it says for life or long-term care insurance, click here for a quote and to apply in less than 10 minutes. And we also give you QR codes. So as I mentioned here, you go to Boss, you go to Quote and Apply websites, and then you go to marketing. I'm going to show you, and I can show you live on the system, but I actually put this into the PowerPoint. You know, those of you who have been in Boss are familiar with this screen. You go to the second thing on the left, Quote and Apply, and then right under the green box, you go to websites, and then what you'll see is a tile for your website, or if you have more than one website, you might see lines rather than tiles. Again, you can have more than one website very easily in our system if you have a desire to do so, for example, for specialty groups or something like that. And then the way you get these links and these QR codes, as you see here, is once you click on your tile and you go in there, you go to marketing, and here's where you can change the text and such, and here's where you can copy them and bring them down to your system so you can use them. So, you know, how do you use those? Well, you put them in your signature block. Anytime anybody gets an email from you, whether it's a friend, family, or client, can see a link in your in your signature block. You can put them on your Facebook page. You can put them right inside an email message. You can put the QR code on your business cards. You can, you know, I always have people take a photo of it with their cell phone. Now you've got it in your cell phone. If you're at a restaurant, or if you're at an airport, or no matter where you are, somebody's interested in insurance, you just pull it right up on your cell phone. They pull up their camera on their cell phone, and they can go straight to your website right there. You know, you can put it on flyers if you're going to be exhibiting at a senior fair or something like that. Hand out flyers, you can put on the QR code. I'm sure you've got other ways that you can use it. And as I said, just, you know, chime in or wait until I'm done, whatever you prefer. You know, once you have this, it seems to me that it would make sense for you to send out a personal e-blast, and you might want to do it, you know, test it with some people and see what they think about it, and do it more broadly. But, you know, you can do it to your in-force clients. You can do it to non-buyers. You know, you can do it to relatives of your clients, your relatives, your friends, to suppliers. You know, depending on your message, you can vary your message depending upon whether they're high income or not. You can even purchase lists of emails. A lot of ways that you can get your message out. This is an email wording that I've drafted that I can send to you. But what you could do is you could customize this for different groups. And basically it says, you know, I have a wonderful way now, fast way that you can get all kinds of products, insurance products, and you can, you know, on your own or with me. So your kids might want, you know, cheap term insurance, or your grandchildren might want that. Maybe your children would want business insurance. You might want final expense. And I've got all these sophisticated ways of covering things, which again, you might want to customize that to some, you know, for some clients, you know, and anyway, just here's a link, and you can forward this link to your family. So as I said, I can send that to you, and then you can modify it, you know, however you want to for different groups, or to test response, or just to make it shorter or whatever. Another thing that we can do, and the people that we're I onboarded. First, I'm going to show you something that actually I wasn't smart enough to realize we could do, that I think I told some people we couldn't do. But we've got some of these prepackaged messaging. And again, you go on to Boss, you go to marketing, and then there's a pull down menu here. So what I've pulled down is final expense. And then here's the message on your email, which I changed to say guaranteed issue life insurance rather than final expense. And then in here, you put in up to 100 email addresses. We limit you to 100. It's not really a limit in our system. It's because otherwise it'll look like spam. So if you have more than 100, we suggest that you do 100, multiple times. Now on the right, you can see the picture, the text, and then it says get your free quote, and it has your information. So when you send that to yourself, okay, yeah, that's where I want to be. When you send that to yourself, it comes into your inbox like this, okay? When it comes into your inbox, you can forward it, okay? And when you forward it, you can get rid of all of this forwarding stuff, right? So you can get back to it, okay? You can change this title again to whatever you want, get rid of the forward. And now that this is the way it looks, and by the way, you can see from the way it's formatted that it's nice for, cell phones, right? Okay. And here, if you want to change some of the text or you want to change the picture, you can just highlight the picture and you can change it. You can go out and look at stock images, get something online from somewhere on your computer or whatever. So you can insert a picture that's more pertinent for your market, a picture that you like for any reason at all. And then you just, put here in the BCC, all the different people you want to send it to. And again, you can try different messaging or different titles and send it to multiple people. So you can actually take this system and you can modify it. And then lastly, you can put a tile on other websites. If you've got another website, or if you've got a client like the New York Realtors Association, you can put a tile on their website. I can send you the instructions. And then over here, it says show embed code. When you click on that, you get the specific code for you. And then I send you the instructions, and they say, in this place, put in your embed code. So if you want to see any of that stuff here, I'm actually on the website now, so you can see all these different things that we can do. I can walk you through this. Most of you have seen it. So I'm going to stop now and resort to that. If there's something you want me to show you now or go over again, but otherwise, here's how you can reach me. And I'm looking forward to your questions and comments, particularly, some successes you've had with us that you think other people might be interested in.
Okay, so Claude, I'm going back to sharing my slide with you. Are you seeing that? Or do I have to share it separately? I think I have to share it separately.
You want me to stop sharing?
Yeah, so I can share back your contact information. Yeah. Okay, so.
Okay, stop sharing.
Thank you for that. Let me see if I can go back here and I can hit share again. And then I share that. And now I need to go back to share. Oh, it says I'm sharing. Am I seeing you, Claude? Just stop sharing. Am I seeing Claude's corner
I'm seeing
slide?
a blank screen.
You are seeing a blank screen. Okay, so let me.
Yeah. No, we're seeing it. We're seeing it. I was on the wrong place.
It's a little bit of a delay. Okay, so there's Claude's. By this point, I know some of you are new to the call still, and but if you haven't taken advantage of aligning yourself with Back9 and Claude for your life insurance needs and for some of your other sort of outside the box long-term care solution needs, you're just missing out on so much. Again, he hinted at it, but when you get appointed through Claude for just for these products, nothing to do with the extended care stuff or anything else, or the supplemental products. When you get appointed through him, one of the things they do is they build you a website customized to you and host it for you. And there's no cost to you. So why everybody wouldn't take advantage of that, I don't know. That's as good an offer as I've ever seen from any FMO. So that's a good relationship to have. And with Claude, you might have the best mind in all this space for that can help you in any way. And I mean, he helps you. He'll come on the call if with you or with the interview with you if that's going to make a difference. Claude, I've known him for almost 30 years now, and he was an actuary when he first came to the business. He was president of Transamerica's long-term care division. You're not going to find anybody better to work with than him, is my point. So go to that information, get affiliated with him, take advantage. He'll take you on a tour of the website one-on-one. There's all kinds of tools that are available to you, Stratecision, underwriting tools. It's just, you're giving away a great house advantage if you don't have the tools that you get in working with Claude. So anybody have questions for Claude? Unmute if you do.
Or comments.
Or comments. And let me see if there's any chat thing. I don't see any chat things.
I just learn something new every time. And Claude, as soon as I get everything together, I don't know, my brain's still getting organized, but I love your everything that you do.
That's an unsolicited testimonial, Claude, from Candy Gorman. So thank you, Candy. And everybody says the same thing, by the way. Once they work with Claude, they never regret it. They always have things they just never had before that separates them from their competition. So thank you for sharing that, Candy. Anybody else have any questions for Claude? All right, I'm going to go back to the slideshow mode here. Go ahead. Somebody has something they want to share? No? All right. Well, again, Claude, thank you. And we look forward to your visits every month. And everybody says the same thing. They learn something new every time they see you. Claude is going to be attending the ILTCI meeting in San Diego this weekend. And I'm sure he'll have something to share with us when he gets back. I also have some people that will be in attendance that will tell us everything that's new that's going on. That's the Society of Actuaries. It used to be the Society of Actuaries meeting. This year it's in San Diego, but they now call it the ILTCI. About 900 people are going. So tell us all the things we need to know.
Which of your people are going?
I think
Mark,
I don't know
which of your people are going?
I'm not sure yet. I'm not going. I thought I was, but I'm not. But I will. I'll find out. There's some people, some agents within. Sharon, are you going? No. Sharon Luker seems to be involved everywhere I turn. She's there. So
No, I'm not going.
Okay. Well, I will find out and I'll have them on. I don't know, and specifically was in attendance when I discovered I wasn't going to go. I figured I would hear from somebody that was. But anyway, if anybody is going, let me know.
If anybody on the call, if anybody on the call is going to be there, speak up, because it'll make it easier for us to find a way to get together and meet each other while we're there, if you'd like.
Can't miss him. He looks just like this. There you go.
Could you repeat what that event is?
It's called the ILTCI, and it's in San Diego this year. It's, again, it used to be the Society of Actuaries.
It's the intercompany. Yeah, it's the intercompany long-term care insurance conference.
Every carrier will be there.
It's been the premier conference for years.
But you know what? None of our extended carriers are going. So that's still something we got to work on in making sure that extended care is thought of, the short-term care, or thought of as an alternative to, a very good alternative to traditional long-term care.
Yeah, there will be some discussion of short-term care and there will be a few short-term care people, carriers. I know some of the carriers will be there. For example, Aetna has 4 people there.
Good. All right. Well, that's a perfect lead-in because yesterday we had a product training from Aetna. And I've been asking people, that's the first time I heard somebody from the short-term care side is going. But again, we're in the process of branding these products as extended care, and I'm trying to convince these carriers as they come out with these new products that they use that word. And there's some people there you're right, at the conference that are using extended care as the way they're presenting opportunities for people in the business. So slowly but surely we're making progress. Suggest that to everybody, Claude, when you see them. Okay. Thanks, Claude. I'll talk to you. We'll be here, and we
All right,
can't
take
wait
care.
to hear from you. Thank you. Okay. Real quick, some follow-up stuff. Last week, you heard from Chris Squeer. We launched the test program this week. I did get to hear back from a couple of you. I need to know the people I did send the invitation to that you are going to participate, even if it's not this week, but you're going to participate before the end of the month. And if you are, then we'll reserve that spot. Otherwise, I'm going to start opening it up to other people that were on the list, because I want them to be able to have, I want a decent group of people. Right now, we offered it to 5 people. I'm going to offer it to more if you want to participate in this program. And again, we changed the criteria. Just so you know, anybody that signs up for this test will get the full $500 back for the first month, and then they'll have to show us some production to continue to get an assist with the cost of the program. But again, the point is that we want to test this, so then we can roll it out to everyone and tell you what the results have been. So let me know. All right. Here's some of the people that I want to talk to. I did add Wellabe to this too because of the talk thing, so I didn't put them on here. But here are the updates that came from last week. They literally come in up to 20 minutes before this call begins. So I have to constantly be attaching some new things. So you need to check out the email that comes out afterwards with the attachments to see all the updates. Moo, I don't know if they're going crazy over there or what, but they have like 3-4 different ways now that they communicate with you each week. They have the Moo Express, they have the Moo Focus, they have their own podcast now, and then they have special opportunities that they offer. One of which you'll see mentioned in here is that they will personalize your own URL for you through Moo. So constantly news from Moo. These are the things they put out each week. Make sure you check them out each week when you get the copy of the recording. This is the program I was just telling you about. This was a separate email they sent it. For all of you that need to do your compliance, free anti-money laundering training is now available through LIMRA. Again, this email will be attached to the recording email after the call, and you just hit on the LIMRA thing and you can take the test at no cost to you. I just had to go through it for my compliance, and I needed to show that I had anti-money laundering done within the last 2 years. So here's a way to do that, and it won't cost you anything. GTL. We heard from GTL a couple weeks back. They did come out with an email talking about a full electronic signature is now required. Again, you can still do it virtually, but it's a electronics. You can't put initials. You can't put some abbreviation. You have to actually submit the applications with a full electronic signature. The other thing they did this last week was offer and Sharon, I saw you were on this, a webinar on legislative improvements. And if you missed it, I'm going to send you the link in the attachment. There'll be a link and you can hear it, of all the lobbying efforts that are going on. It's specifically more Medicare friendly in that they talk about all those new changes they've made in the proposed legislation. Now, none of those changes have gone into effect yet. So they're still trying to modify some things, but it is scheduled to go into effect in April. So if you haven't found out more about it, you can find out what GTL is doing from a Washington, D.C. side of things. They have full-time people on staff who just lobby Washington to take a more friendly look at what it is we're trying to do to help consumers address this, their risk for needing care as they get older. Again, Sharon, I saw you were there. So as I said, everywhere I looked, there you are. All right, here's what we were just talking about, as Sharon brought up. Wellabe runs their own podcast called Tuesday Talk. And Mike, who you just heard from, is the host. So I know they look for different guests. He's doing a whole thing on hospital indemnity this next Tuesday. Again, the email is out there. It'll be attached. Make sure you open them. Oops. And as I tell you, everybody's going crazy right now with there. Manhattan Life has just come out with a podcast. I saw that John Hancock has just come out with a podcast. It seems like this is going to be the thing that everybody's going to go to as another way to communicate. And as you become a good producer for any of these companies, don't be surprised if they ask you to be a guest on their podcasts. And it's a great way for you to expose yourself. So this is brand new, Manhattan Life's podcast. It's called In the Loop. Again, check out the attached email and you can be part of that. All right. We did run the Aetna training yesterday. We had pretty good attendance. I thank you, all of you that were there. But again, Aetna had an internal policy that we couldn't record it. However, they didn't say I couldn't summarize it. So I used AI to summarize the call, and I have a copy of that summary, which I'm going to attach to the email that follows this call with the replay. So if you want to see what was shared on the Aetna training, which was pretty good, I thought it was, he pretty much demonstrated the whole portfolio. You can see the summary and stay up to speed on that. So again, it'll be attached. Okay, something else new that came out since just last week, and I thank Raymond Levine for this. He posted this again. Raymond Levine is one of our long affiliated specialists, and he's written a book about care, and you can find him online. He constantly has really good postings on LinkedIn, but he informed me of this, and then I checked it out myself, and I saw that we have that cost of care calculator from Genworth, and that you should have this as an easily accessible link to that cost of care survey. Up till now, they hadn't updated it since it was only updated since 2021. Now they've updated it through 2023. So the rates they're showing you now are up to speed. And if you just enter their zip code or your zip code or the client's zip code, that's my zip code. So there you go. Now you know where I live. You can see exactly what the costs are in this particular area. And this line is between Dallas and Sherman. So they're showing me the Sherman area, and they'll show you the cost in that area. So all you have to do is slide on down, and your client can see. Now, what's unusual about this is that there's not a whole lot. This is pretty much still developed land out here. So you can see that the home health aid is really expensive, but the assisted living facilities and the nursing homes are more within the range of what the national average is. But if this said Dallas, it would all be that. So I chose my zip code, but the truth is you could go see it in any zip code you wanted to see. And if your clients tell you they're going to move somewhere else, if they need care, like closer to the kids or something, you put in that zip code and they can see exactly what the cost will be. Not only as of now, but by using this little bar, you can show them what it's projected to be in the future. So it's 2024. If they're 60 years old and the average claimant is 80, you just move this up 20 years and you'll now see what the prices are projected to be, or the costs are projected to be in 20 years when they're most likely to make a claim. So again, you can see that assisted living is going to go from 3274 to 5913, and semi-annual bed is going to go almost double from 5992 to 10 grand plus, almost 11 grand for a semi-private room, and then a private room is going to be 12 grand. So they can see not only what the costs are today, but what this might help them decide exactly how much protection they want to be put in place. I don't think that anyone, unless they tell you that they want to, should insure for the full amount of the future cost. I think that everyone that you're going to be talking to has assets that they're trying to protect, and that's one of the main motivations for coming to you to put a plan in place, but they have assets that are giving them some sort of income in addition to their Social Security or to their pension or monies they're making off investments. They can help subsidize their stay if they want to, and they're in a much, much better position to negotiate when they have an insurance plan that's going to help pay for whatever care they're going to need. Because again, nobody wants to see somebody come on board, especially the vendors that provide these services, and then see you run out of money and they got to be dependent on Medicaid. So, because Medicaid's only going to pay them a small fraction of what they actually charge. And if you have a policy, they'd much rather find a way to give you care than to have to put somebody else on Medicaid. So again, this is the best of the calculators out there for care. There's several others out there, but this is the only one that will let you drill down to the zip code that your clients are living in or planning to live in. So, are you seeing that? Are you seeing the cost of care calculator? I realize I've been talking. Somebody unmute
I
and let
am.
me know.
It looks good. I can see it for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I can
Okay.
see Genworth.
Good, beautiful. That's what I wanted to make sure. I just never know when I switch slides outside of the slide deck that whether or not you're seeing it. Okay, guys, we were leading the pack until this week of people that had already planned to come to the NAIS agent conference in July here at the Star in Frisco, Texas, which Saline is a neighboring city of a neighboring town outside of Frisco. But here's something special that affects every one of you that have already registered and will be, and everyone else who does register between now and March 31st will be eligible to receive a 50% off refund of their fee. So in other words, if it costs $100 to be there as a regular attendee, you can pay the $100 and then they'll give you $50 back. Or if you become a VIP, which I strongly recommend, or some of you that became regular attendees but want to upgrade to VIP, the same thing will apply. We'll pay for half of your attendance fee. The attendance fee was never designed to make money. It was just to ensure that people, when they said they were coming, would actually show up. And so we're passing the savings back of 50% to everyone that registers early or is already registered. But for the longest time, since this was announced, we led the way. Our supplemental channel led the way. And we just got passed by one registrant this last week. And I don't want that to stand. So now that you have a 50% off incentive to do this, no matter what level you choose, please go to the link that'll be in the email and register, or go to the website and where it says conference, just click on that and register. And then you'll know that we'll be reimbursing you through our expense reimbursement system, which means it will not be income to you. It'll just be a reimbursement of that expense. But you have to, again, show up at the conference in order to be able to be eligible for the refund or the rebate. All right. So again, those reason I strongly encourage you. Yes, go ahead, Candy.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Okay.
I already bought my ticket and I talked with Alita. I want to upgrade my ticket. Who do I contact to make that happen?
Just go to where it says conference on the website and tell them you want to upgrade to VIP. There's a link that says conference on the website.
Thank you.
Okay. And again, I've seen a bunch of the sponsors now. Everybody that's going to affect your business is going to be there. There'll be presentations from some of the VIP sponsors, and almost every sponsor's become a VIP. But you do get the extra incentives of a cocktail party at the restaurant inside. The Star is the training facilities for the Dallas Cowboys, and they have about 30 restaurants that surround it. It's the whole, upbeat complex, giant, mega screen with the football games that run on it. My granddaughter plays her high school games there. It's a dome stadium. Plus, it has 2 fields for the Cowboys preparation. One is a grass field, one is a turf field, and that's what they practice on. But when they try a trick play out, they move the whole team inside the Dome Stadium so nobody can see what they're planning for the upcoming week. When you sign up for a VIP, you get this dinner at the Side Social Restaurant, which is supposed to be a real fun place. It's a cocktail party and a welcome dinner. Then you get a separate cocktail party at the private Cowboys Club, which is a country club for people affiliated with the Cowboys. You never know who you're going to see there, celebrities and or players and stuff like that. And then you get a private tour of the actual facility itself, which is, again, I can go there often because of my granddaughter's football games being there. So it's certainly worth it. And now that we just took 50% off for any of you that registered before the end of March, you are even more inclined to, or should be more inclined to, want to be a VIP. All right? And you can bring your significant others and save 50% off them too. So that's the latest, and congrats to all of you who registered early, because you're going to get your half of your money back too. All right. Couple of things you need to know. The 2 links again will be in the two links that will be. Why did I go ahead like that? All right, I'm going to figure this out. Trying to click on the link and see if it'll take us there. There's 2 links here that I want you to be able to see. This is, and for some reason this didn't record right, so I'm going to take you up to see it, but AI is here to stay. We're going to be talking a lot about that at the conference. This woman works with Prudential, created a software system where AI is actually going to be able to help. All you have to do is go and Google this: AI creator aims to spare families LTC nightmare, and you'll see how AI, artificial intelligence, is going to help in both the underwriting as well as the way you should plan for long-term care, and when you need care, the options that you're going to have available to you. So I highly encourage you to read that, or Google it and read it without all that other stuff in between. Oops. Go back to the slides. Trying to, well, where'd the slides go? There they are. Okay. And then there's another link here that I've shown you before. Again, if you're not following Bill Comfort is one of the real influencers on LinkedIn in our business. And I showed you that he shared this last week. CBS News Money Watch did a whole story on how to buy long-term care insurance. I strongly encourage you to use this as an email blast to send to your database or potential or your client base. It just solidifies why they made the decision in the first place, and it's coming from a credible source. So I can tell you again, I shared with you last week, I do this every time 60 Minutes runs something on long-term care. I share it with my clients, and because it has the weight of 60 Minutes endorsement behind it, it always gets me a whole lot of referrals and people that looked but didn't do anything are now ready to make a decision to. So here's another one of those articles you should take full advantage of. And when you do see Bill's LinkedIn page, you should follow it so you get all his stuff. He's always on the cutting edge of things that are going on out there. Okay.